The Maliki madhab observes sadd al-dhari'a. And is it always better to close the door on a doubtful matter, or can that be excessive? That's the question. Is it always better, or can there even be excesses in that?
Bismillah, alhamdulillah, salatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. So as for Saddud Dara', which is closing off the means, the concept is if something leads to something else which is haram, then that thing might also be haram. And I guess the munasaba or the relationship of the question to the talk is that to what extent do you block things off so that they don't become a bid'ah? I'm assuming that's the relationship between those. However, we can answer the question in a general way. So this blocking off the means to something, actually, it's not specific to the Maliki madhab. It's available in the four madhabs, but the Malikis, they expanded more in it than others, meaning that they took it into consideration. They made it a stronger evidence than others. And even with that, actually, when you study usul al-fiqh, it's actually considered a weaker evidence. It's not considered a stronger evidence. It's a weaker evidence. And they say that there are from it those things which are agreed upon that if it's a means to something else, then that thing should be haram. For example, if you go and open up a hole in the middle of the road and people will fall in it and get hurt. Building holes is permissible, but if you build a hole there, almost certainly you're going to cause people to be harmed. Perhaps even like how Shaykh Nasar made the point, doing weddings in a masjid. If it became too much, I could see in fatwa, I'm not saying for sure, but I could see in fatwa someone saying, just stop all weddings, because every time somebody, it's not that weddings in the masjid are haram, but if every single time they're happening, then they're going to be blocked off. So there's a type of this blocking off the means which is agreed upon, and there's a type which is agreed upon that we discount it. For example, if you grow grapes, it's possible sometime down the line someone will buy the grapes and sell it to someone else who will make wine out of it. So it's haram for you to sell grapes to someone who you know is going to make wine with those grapes. Versus you're going to sell them to someone who might sell them to someone who might sell them to someone. So just the whole thing is haram. No, this is, everyone agrees, you cannot take it that far. So there is excesses in it, to answer the question. And then there is in the middle, Imam al-Qarafi says, there's a room that is disagreed upon. That some, they were more conservative in it and some were more lenient in it. And then he says, وَعَلَمْ أَنَّ الذَّرِيعَةَ كَمَا يَجِبُ سَدُّهَا يَجِبُ فَتْحُهَا. He says, know that these means to things, the same way that sometimes you need to close off, sometimes it's actually wajib, it's an obligation to open them up. It's obligatory to open them up if there is now, they call a maslaha rajaha, meaning that there's a benefit to the Muslims which outweighs the potential for something to become an issue. So these are all the things, and we keep coming back to this point. I think it's important that things like bid'ah, sadd al-dara' and so on, these are principles that have to be taken in accordance with other principles. Meaning that you cannot just take one and stick to it. No, you have to take everything together and see how they play with each other. One of the things that I benefited most from one of my mashayikh, it's like for a week we had just every day question and answer for like 10 hours or more. And one of the things I benefited from the most is his usage of legal maxims in explaining the answers. And he would often use 2, 3, 4, 5 at a time. Or sometimes he would say something, okay, but does that contradict this? And he'll explain, no, there's this principle over here that overrides that one, and so on. So I ask him, how do you know which ones you're using one? I was very interested in this. He said, there are principles which tell you how to use these principles. So it's really something that, you're getting seeds. You're not getting everything. You're getting part of it. And for those who want to learn more, really, you're not going to learn it on, maybe some people who are asking the questions, they didn't watch because they only listened to the live stream and they only tuned back when question and answer were up. I don't know. But you're not going to learn it through online or through a talk here and there. You need to know it through actual studying the details every single day. It's not an easy thing. Allahu A'lam.